candidate is a self-made man. To him, independence is being able to do things by himself with his dependence from anybody despite financial assistance is just no elastic. He would be at a tender age, much to the chagrin of his parents when working with his supporting shop, as a shop assistant. Prior to his coming to the country in the late 80s, he enrolled at Paris and first enrolled in his bachelor's in Master's degree in Business Administration in 1989. He was conferred by the Arab Community College in Jordan, Amman, a bachelor degree in computer, later with systems analysis of programming. While working for his business degrees, he opted to be self-supporting, again despite support coming from the parents. Thus, once again, he's gaining his independence from his folks by getting the ordinary needs of his friend function. With this business venture, he worked his way to the completion of his bachelor and master's degree in business, and hopefully his Ph.D. in honors now. The candidate is not only a very loving parent, he has two robust children, both boys. A faithful and devoted husband to his wife, the former Imelda Fernandez, but also a very caring son. Occasionally he says, "Daddy, unlike your other son advices after the oral exams, you only hear from the mail. This time I'll be around with your family." It's an honor and joy to present my stubborn, bull-headed, but very caring and loving son advices. Thank you, Sister Son, for giving me the privilege. It is responsible for my mobility without much difference. My son, Fathallah Oral.
Good morning. Good morning. In this age of competition and technology transfer, all category of business and industry, one can disregard or be aware of changes that are taking place nowadays. Computers have ushered the new industrial revolution to let free men's mind from downfall tasks as the machines of the first industrial revolution, which freed men's strength from demanding labor by their speed. Computers also have extended man's ability to think, making possible the solution of previously insoluble problems. No essential fixed-type industry being one of the major industry, also on free man's necessity, food, clothing, shelter, which convert nature and man-made fibers into yarn materials, supplies people their clothing needs for protection from nature. The industry has to be in continuous search for raw materials, process, adoption of new technology, and know-how characterized by efficiency and effectiveness in order to respond, resulting into successful cost savings, productivity without sacrificing quality, in order to respond to the very competitive local and foreign markets. Well, the government demonstrated to overcome in the late 1970s to utilize the modernization program of the industry to defeat the problems of the late 1970s due to high production cost, obsolete and old-equipment, ill-trained manpower. This program didn't push through due to the political and economic uncertainties of the industrial revolution. So the loan was given by the World Bank and IMF was cancelled. Now I would like to go to the major statement. Before I go to the major statement problem, I would like to present the paradigm of the study, which this introduction finds support from this paradigm. You see here, this boxes start with the input, then the process, and what will go to output. So this is the status of the textile industry, which based in this study about years of operation, product lines, and what specialized and integrated yields. Then we have the process, what is being used, the ordinary machines. Then we have production, but we are not sure that we satisfy local market or not. Now, if we use automation, instead of ordinary, we'll be using automation. So what will be the output? We have productivity, we have equality, we have cost savings of labor, materials, etc. But we are not sure also that we can, this study can achieve its goal. So what will be the role in order to achieve our goal, which is competitivity? We can supply local, we can supply global markets. So that's, if we have a competent management, therefore we can, we have productivity, we have good equality, we can reduce our prices, we have cost savings, so therefore we can achieve our, the study can achieve its goal, which is competitivity and local and global market. So this is the paradigm of this study to finally achieve competitivity. Now I go to the major statement of the problem. This major problem, this study attempted to figure out, to determine the extent of automation in production operation of the textile mills in the Philippines, integrated and specialized, how this has benefited public affairs in terms of cost savings in labor, materials, overhead, their productivity and production flexibilities. Likewise, the problems pertinent to automation and their solution were looked into. Finally, it identified how automation has enhanced the mill's efficiency and effectiveness to enable them to compete price-wise and quality-wise. For sub-problem number 1 and 2, how did textile manufacturing evolve and what is current status? What are integrated and specialized textile mills and how many of these are operational in the Philippines? Sub-problem 3, when did textile mills start the use of automation and which management function were first computerized? As a whole, how computer dependent are these management functions? Sub-problem 4 and 5, which of the production operations of the subject textile mills are automated and what is the extent of their dependence on this? Are there significant differences in the automation dependence of subject textile mills when these are grouped into integrated and specialized with operation number product lines? For sub-problem 6 and 7, how did the automation dependence of production enhance productivity and quality of product? In relation to the preceding sub-problem, is there significant relationship in the productivity and quality enhancement of the respondent based on their automation dependence? For sub-problem 8 and 9, how did production cost respond to automation of the textile manufacturing process and how much cost saving were achieved in terms of labor cost, material cost, overhead cost? In connection with the sub-problem above, are there significant differences in the extent of cost savings based on respondents' automation dependence? Sub-problem 10, what were the respondents received qualitative benefits from the computerization of management function and automation of production operation? 11, what were the problems encountered in the mills automation and how were these resolved? For the null hypothesis, there are no significant difference in the automation dependence of the textile mills, production, operation, where mills are grouped as follows: integrated and specialized, yield operation, product lines. 2, there are no significant correlation in the productivity enhancement of respondents and the quality of their products in regards to automation dependence. 3, there are no significant differences in the extent of cost savings, labor cost, material cost, and overhead cost based on respondents' automation dependence. For the research design, first, the exploratory survey. This technique enables the researcher to understand the manufacturing process of the meals through observation, regular inspection, clinical inspection. Six textile mills were visited, located in Bulacan, Metro Manila, Cavite, most of which were facilitated by Dr. Aziz. Thank you, sir. This technique also helped the researcher structure his questionnaire more comprehensively. For the historical documental analysis, the technique was necessary to trace the history evolution of the textile mills. 3 descriptive methods, a 5-part 20 questionnaire, 114 variables were constructed and distributed to some of the executives of the textile mills covered by the disciplinary survey, and were verified by the executive secretary of Textile Mills Association of the Philippines and some professors of production management. The technique enabled the researcher to characterize and identify practices of the respondents' firm that are relevant to the thrust of this study. For the structured interview, the researcher personally distributed this questionnaire to the subject mills, where he accomplished his questionnaire in the business of the researcher, where he was able to exchange views with the respondents. And also giving the respondents the opportunity to exchange views with the researcher. Statistical tools were used in this study: frequency distribution, percentage, mean and weighted mean, t-test, and one-way analysis of variance ANOVA, and test of correlation. Now we proceed to the findings. About 1 minute in order to execute the program. From this figure, to be noted that all except only for others, 1 for others and 2 for combination, all others were accomplished retrieved. So conclusion could be made from this chart that respondents were cooperative or possibly research oriented. The next figure will present the years of operation and number of product lines. This column shows that more than majority of the respondents have been in operation for less than 15 years, while the remaining, or 1/3 of them, are for 15 to 20 years and over, which are mostly integrated mills from the beginning of the industry, 1930s. For number of product lines, it shows here that 2/3 the respondents are producing 1 and 2 product lines, while 1/3 of them for the 3 and 4 and 5 product lines, which is also mostly are integrated by the integrated mills. Type of mills, you could see from this line that the dominant number was for spinning, followed by integrated, while only Others with weaving and others were the least in numbers. So the dominant was spinning followed by integrated. For the next figure, respondent's age, this line showed that more than majority of the respondents are belonging to the bracket of 35 to 40 years old, while only one accounted for less than 25 years, majority of them in the 35 to 50. Conclusion could be made the age profile of the respondents suggests possible long-term employment with the respondents, while in the respondent sex could be noted that the long bar showed that majority of them are male, while for their civil status showed also the majority are married respondents. Next will be the profile for the educational attainment. This line showed that most of the respondents are in the preparation for business. Only economics and others were the least to go, while mostly were in commerce, accounting, management, and accounting. The next will show the postgraduate. The pie showed that 3/4 of the respondents, or more than 3/4 of the respondents, belong to the master's degree and master's units, while only the remaining 1/4 were with the others, and one for doctoral, for doctoral units. The next figure, conclusion. The next figure will be executive respondents, years with the company, years in the present job, and finally the monthly salary. This line shows that majority of the respondents are being with the company for more than 10 to 20 years, while only two accounted for less than 5 years. Conclusion could be made from this that there appears to be a low employee turnover, while in years in the present job, present position showed that column, majority of them are being in their present position for less than 10 years, which suggests that there appears to be a big period gap before promotion or reserve or given. The monthly salary showed that also majority of them are in the 10 to 15,000, while only one for the less than 5,000. Conclusion could be made that executive salary level among respondents is relatively low. The next figure shows the financial performance of the mills, the textile mills covered by this study. Showed the total liabilities, the gross sale, stockholders' equity, net income after tax, and total assets. If you could see from this figure that gross sale, you can see spinning followed by integrated are registering the highest level of gross sale. And you go to total assets, you can see from this line that spinning followed by integrated are still registering the highest in their total assets, followed by total liabilities and stockholders' equity would reflect the same are the highest two in their total liabilities and stockholder equities. While if you go to net income, you could see that where Spain used to be the highest among the others came by a major losses followed by the integrated, though it was the highest among all the others in gross sales. But in net income was having the major losses.